surprised by NiP, even with it being their map pick. So ultimately, take this at face value all you want, but for FaZe, especially on their CT side, as long as they can play together, as long as they can also have those individual moments like Guardian just sneaking their headshot like that on towards Rez, then I'm a happy man. Look at NiKo waiting for the push. This is NiKo just being NiKo right now. NiKo taking down every single player that comes his way. Get right, finally gonna step in and shut him down, but that's the FaZe that I'm expecting to see on the CT side. There's your answer.
Yeah, I don't think I could ask for a better answer. I think NiKo answered it for you. My God, the great positioning and just shutting down everybody as they crossed NiP. Unable to do anything about NiKo as FaZe claim the pistol, claim themselves an advantage here. And you can see how serious they are at this map. They do not want to waste any time shutting down NiP. Rifles galore, a scout for Guardian, one SMG, and that's in the hands of Karrigan, but for the most part, it is all rifles here to play with for FaZe. Great shot from Guardian to take down Draken. Get right does respond, but NiKo is here watching the cross from Jungle Connector. Spotting out the first play, gets a good flick on towards Get Right, but exists with a quick trade. 3 versus 3 with a P250. Olafmeister back towards shore.
Frag grenade from Guardian. Clear out sandwich, peeks out nice and wide on the ticket booth. Leading to just another simple kill. Rez, last man standing. Karrigan. Why can't you just kill him? Why do you have to jump midair and make it look so cool? FaZe, 2-0, NiP. Looked like the greatest start, but the buy is where I expect them to be contestable. I mean, sure, I said that FaZe should have a very clear advantage. I do think NiP should be able to get 5 or 6 rounds, though. I mean, if you wanted a half prediction, I'd say 9-6. In favor of FaZe.
It's plausible. NiP down at Eco for the time being, though. It should be 3-0 to kick off the matchup. The conversion rounds, of course, going to the favor of FaZe with that pistol round. Olaf going to make, well, pretty decent sure of that much. Taken down, Get Right, good grenade, should shut. Oh, actually doesn't quite land onto Rez. I thought that would have taken him down with his health. Guardian should be able to clean it up, though. Spots crossing players. It does push aggressive to take down one and the second. Rez and Draken fall to the hands of the P250 and is left to exist. And Forest, 2 versus 5. Might take down Olafmeister. But Guardian still pushing aggressive, looking for his triple kill and his quadra kill. Not going to quite find it. Does get taken out eventually. And now look to NiKo to tap down for yet another kill on his board. 3-0 FaZe, NiP, rifle buy in this one.
This is the one to watch, though. Want to see NiP step up to the plate now. Start to build towards those 6 rounds. 5 AKs, utility very rough around the edges, but they've done enough to throw some very basic set-piece smokes, which they have done, in towards mid. Go short and window, find themselves completely smoked off. Rez taking contact at a ramp, takes down Rain with a very nice headshot. NiKo towards mid, but again a smoke blocking his vision, the line of sight between him and Exist. But FaZe, they still rotated over on towards the A site. The retake is now going to be on Karrigan, ready to swing a nice and wide. Guardian, a very nice shot. Karrigan, the second follow-up, the molly. Deep behind Firebox, and this is when the going gets tough. They peek out once again. Guardian, another flick on towards Get Right. And it just falls further into place. The push continues. The pressure kicking in. Boris next in line to hit the deck. Guardian is doing it all right now. NiKo going to finish it off.
And 2 players remain alive for FaZe. A very good start. NiP able to get the control of the site and get the bomb down, but outside of that, very little else. 4-0 to the favour of the FaZe clan. NiP with a bomb plant could force the buy here, and it looks like that's what they're going to be going for. Forest in with the early AK. Kevlar and helmets out for Rez. Get Right. Draken exists to follow. Yes, it looks like it would be. Limited utility for this T side. 3 smokes and Molotov. Could be good for a relatively basic setup, maybe a B site hit out of apps or an A site execution. They have used 1 for the mid smoke. They have got 2 left to play with, and Molotov has been used. So NiP relying on picks, and indeed Exist will get the first. The opener on NiKo, shutting him down towards connector. A small gap in the smoke, but they do find it. Looking for mid control and also boosting into the sniper nest. Currently a man advantage above FaZe.
A lot of big control here for NiP. A very strong position from Draken, one that could really instigate this A-take. Rain being problematic, Karrigan as well, adding insult to injury. He claims that second kill on towards Rez. Draken still such a good position, but standing idle, spraying wildly at Rain. Nearly a horrendous whiff, but manages to close it out. Now he'll be hunted. Exist taking down Olaf Draken. Now just rejoining his team in mid. Guardian already starting to work back into this one. 2 versus 2. Karrigan holding for Draken. 40 seconds come around.
Bomb in mid. Back of Get Right. FaZe spread thin across their defensive as well. They are going to push Guardian aggressive. But he won't find anything. Karrigan maybe the main linchpin in this defensive. He's close range against the likes of Draken, who snuck his way back from CT, but A site looks to be the play. And now Guardian, a triple kill for him. Starting to make his way back out of Palace. 10 seconds. Get Right gets himself immediately onto the site and just gets the plant down. This is exposed. Draken's covering it, trying to take down Guardian. Guardian gets the tag, but not the frag. And Draken will save his teammate in this particular regard. Get Right on 38, back towards the firebox. It's all Karrigan, the leader, the IGL, the captain for FaZe. Molotov towards Sticker Booth, but Draken's got him covered. And will lock out a triple kill to bring FaZe up to, well, sorry, to bring NiP 1 round on the board.
This is where it begins, hopefully, for the Swedes. And what a start here. The risk, of course, of the FaZe reset certainly going to be looming over their minds. But hopefully they don't let it get to them. We're going to make sure they focus on the task at hand. Get everything they need to play a sensible round out. Smoke from Get Right. Going to be going down in towards mid. Oh, the peek and underpass. Risky. Olaf getting the 1-for-1 trade.
Instead of 4-on-4. So it is even so far. Karrigan looking in for Rez. Rez does peek out and shut down him. Now an advantage for NiP. 3 players alive for FaZe. 1 man extra for the T-side, and Olaf is tagged down at 42 HP. CTs will decide they're going to go ahead and push 2 on the B site. Rain's going to be here to cover off A, but he's got to make his way through the murder hole and look in from jungle. And already there are T-side players got him marked. He will catch Exist off. It actually does drop the bomb, and he may even peek in and take down 1 more player. Red sprays, can't land the frag. Guardian is here trying to look in that murder hole, trying to see if he can find the angle, but Rain will just push around, shut down, Get Right. And FaZe suddenly tip things back towards their favor. A 2 versus 3. Draken and Rez, the last 2 alive. Bomb will make his way on towards the A site. Draken watching with the AWP. Does spot Guardian. Does take him down. Looks for Rain as well. And Rain just bursting his way. Peeking out. Shoulder peeking. Looking for anything he can. And meanwhile, Olaf Meister is on his backstab. NiP don't have any clue of this. He makes his way out of ramp. Spotting players. Draken does look. Does take his head off. And it's all Rain. Last man jumping, spraying. But in the end, just not finding anything. Taking back on through, and Rez will shut him down for the second on the board for NiP.
Such an important round too. They couldn't afford to drop it. And if anything, it allows them to really push the scoring further. That 3rd round is basically right there at the tip of their tongues. FaZe can't afford to do much at all here. So it should be an easy 3rd. Then it's that buy for 4-4 and things start to really look up for NiP. But I hold my old. Literally always be careful with FaZe, basically, because these pistols always are problematic. Thankfully, Forest and Ramp is going to be holding, but Guardian is being patient with this P250, and that scares me, because now he picks up an AWP. Guardian unleashed, potentially.
The 3-on-3, however. Olaf does end up falling. Get Right with a kill will now lead the charge for the T side, with Rez also making his way into mid, into connector. Trying to see if he can catch off Guardian before we can do any significant damage. Of course, Rain is also in jungle, looking in. Deagle in his hand. Flashbang's over, tries to get the flick on Rez, but he can't quite land it. Now Guardian knows exactly where he is. Flashbang over, this could be perfect, and Rez does force him out of the position. Sprays on through, 4 HP, does get the kill with the second face. And now Karrigan just left with a USP and a Dream. It's a retake, gonna throw himself at this one, try and see if he can get a lucky shot or 2. Might get Exist or Rez right here, getting good, decent damage onto them, but no armor, no utility, no significant firepower of any sort. Means that he will eventually fall. NiP will make their way to 3.
Now looking for that fateful 4th to equalize this game. A lot riding on this for NiP, bear in mind. Let's see how this one plays out, though. Of course, already running straight towards that A site. Get right. Away from the pack. We'll just be over towards mid. Rain getting aggressive. Leads to 1 kill, but can't go for a second. Nika, meanwhile, he certainly will exist. Was walking dead set towards him. Both lining out, ready to clash Draken. Working for that stairs wide peak, but no one going to take the bait just yet. The deep smoke ramp. Rain just going to walk forward into the crosshair of Draken, though. And that's where things starts to come up trump through NiP. Because they're ready to push. Nico, the only real player in a good spot, but Exist just sprays through the edge of the smoke.
Spots him out, takes him down. 4-on-3 now. Make it 3-on-3. As Exist does fall, entering from Palace into the site. 2 players there to back him up, but NiP will decide actually to get a little bit more timid away from A. Bomb will rotate back away. Get right does have mid control into underpass. He will go. And looking in, could catch these 2 players in connector. Olafmeister and Guardian. Oh, Olafmeister actually sprays him down, does take the man advantage back for FaZe. And now it's down to Draken and Rez. AWP and AK. Bomb on the back of Draken. Trying to find a pick back, trying to find a man advantage for NiP as they do even it at 2-2. Olafmeister wrapping all the way back towards underpass, ensuring that there is no one sneaking up on the backhand side of the FaZe clan. 20 seconds, a little over, left on the clock. Bomb trying to make its way in. Carrigan's in a perfect place to shut this down. And NiP are running out of time. Molotov does push him away. Draken plants. Dangerous for connector, but Olafmeister is smoked off, so it should be fine. 2 versus 2. Retake coming in, but Draken shuts down Carrigan and leaves it all up to Olaf, the Swedish superstar. Can he make this work? No, he can't. Draken will net a 4K and bring the scoreline evens against FaZe.
The money of FaZe. Such a sour spot. Really not looking too good for them. They're going to have to sit this one out. Just Eagles and CZs once again. NiP, meanwhile, armed to the teeth. AKs, AWPs, you know it. They've got it. Already, it's going to be the quick mid-control. They are being faced at as well. Olaf, Nico, Rain, all giving them chances. They all start to lose their heads just like that. Exist. Takes down 1. Guardian. We're looking for more. In a good position here, because he could potentially catch 1 with the Deagle. But it's all what ifs when you're talking about these pistols.
Olaf to 4. Exist will get Rain as well, so relatively basic stuff coming in for the ninjas. FaZe clan. Only these pistols. And no armor, no utility, nothing really of a main amount of worth for the CT side. If you get a pick, that'd be great. If they can get 3, that'd be even better. But definitely not a round that is in the sights of FaZe clan. As Forrest will make moves on Nico, shut him down. Guardian trying to line a Deagle shot, does get Draken, but trades very effectively by Rez as Carrigan is left alone alive. Takes down 2 more players with a CZ, reloads, peeks out the other side, and Forrest will shut him down, but off the back of those couple of kills, Carrigan and Guardian are going to be able to thin out the NiP economy, have to force them down. A few more players right here. This FaZe up with a buy here. Double AWP setup coming into play. Guardian and Olaf have those. NiP will keep the AWP on Draken and buy up rifles for everybody else.
Volley towards connector. Rain. That's going to catch him. Has to run on through. Take the damage. Olaf peeking out mid. Spots out Exist. Locks in with the AWP. Remember, I talked a lot about this double up setup in the previous map from FaZe. Here it is. So far, so good. Just the 1 pick, but more to do. Guardian honed in on towards A ramp. Or it's just appearing out of nowhere for me, but gotta love X-ray sometimes. Flashes go nice and high. Guardian pushing through, relocating the triple, holding for the ramp out play. And he's getting away with it pretty much unscathed too, bear in mind. Kill after kill. Guardian looking for more. Finally traded out, but Rain's in position to trade for him. And just like that, FaZe, a 4 versus 1 advantage. A very bleak situation for NiP.
1v4 for Get Right. Bomb on his back, and CT's know where he is now. Could rotate to the B site, but I have doubts that he'll be able to fend off FaZe for an after plant. Will make his way in towards A instead, hopefully to get a pick on Rain or Nico, but Rain spotted him already. Calling it out. Flashbang away, may even force the peek away. Indeed, we'll be able to get one kill for it, but Rain with a quick trade, an efficient trade to bring FaZe 5-5 against NiP. And the force buy out to come for the Ninjas. As you know, I was saying earlier, the damage that FaZe were doing in that eco round is pretty significant. You can see now that Forest won't have enough money to buy down. Draken's going to find it quite difficult. Should drop a few rifles here and there, but can be rather limited, as you can see from the utility state. And Forest is the AWP above Draken for some reason. I think he's probably going to pass that off towards him. As yeah, they do pick it up. It looks like it's going to be a basic A setup here from NiP.
Smokes all put into place. Guardian starting to get himself in position. Gonna be looking Hawkeye up towards Palace. Flashes soon to follow. This is when NiP start to get moving now. They're all blooming. The flashes are in play. Rain sitting in the smoke. Oh, I love this.
God.
This could be beautiful. Stars's Grey gets 2. Nico actually stealing the kill, but nonetheless, it doesn't matter. Frags are frags. FaZe 3 versus 3 exists in a CZ doing something. Guardian, please. That is disgusting.
Right on to get right. Through the box of 3 versus 2 now. And FaZe with a little bit of dirty play will force the issue away from NiP. Draken and Exist, last 2 alive. The FaZe have pretty much locked this one out. Guardian will get caught off by Draken, actually, so it does turn into a 2 versus 2, and Exist has spotted the other CT, or one of the other CTs. Karrigan also making his way in for the murder hole. Could take out Draken, could find an angle on these 2 lone players of NiP. Olaf will lock out Draken instead. Look for the second flicker, he lands it perfectly. FaZe a little bit shaky, almost fell apart, but they do keep the double AWP in play, and NiP will have nothing to work with for this next round.
A rough situation for NiP, but they are going to have to suck it up. Except they're on these pistols. FaZe pushing forward for 7. 1 away from winning the half. Starting to really become one with that 9-6 prediction I made. Feeling very confident about that at the moment. Nico going to be pushing towards the top of mid, and a few kills begin to get locked in for FaZe as Guardian takes down Draken. Flash is going to go high for Nico. He'll back off. Not really too much the Swedes can do.
Yeah, not much available for them in this round. Forest will spam Deagle shots, hoping to catch off one of these CTs, but a stray bullet does not land onto FaZe. And there you go, 7-5 up so far in the series now. Full buy coming in from NiP as we do approach the end of the half. 2 rounds there, and we will be there. NiP with 5 AKs, limited utility across the board here for the T side. And FaZe, of course, with the double AWP set up in play. Hoping to catch players off, hoping to hold the same sort of solid defenses as they have had basically for the entire half. And a couple of step-ups that have allowed NiP 5 rounds on their board. So, mid-play for NiP. Guardian looking on through, actually does catch off Rez as he peeks in from short into connector and gets shut down for it. So once again, a great opener. They don't expect Draken. Nico does catch him off, but Draken able to get the trade on Guardian. Dropping one of those AWPs, bringing it to a 4-on-3. At the very least, it is favoured to FaZe Clan, but NiP need to find a little more. And as I say that, Forest gets taken out, so maybe this round may be looking a little bit more difficult for this T side.
Exist working through the bottom depths of connector. 50 seconds for him to work with. Good chunk of time, but that's a push that didn't need to be made. That anyone checking short, you just wildly jump around the corner with a misplaced flash, you give Karrigan the kill. You give him control of the bomb. Now they're just going to use all the utility to make things so hard for you Exist. This round should be off the table. Molly nearly keeping you in place, but Rain opts not to use it just because he knows that you're already through. But damage is damage, and eventually you take too much. FaZe 8-5.
Start we were expecting out of this CT side from FaZe, and NiP are definitely struggling. Especially these last few rounds here. It's been an absolute slog here. And NiP are opting to take a timeout. Discuss things, talk things through. Where are we going wrong? What are we doing right? Why are we 3 rounds behind FaZe Clan? What can we do at this point in the matchup? Because we're at 14 rounds all in all. 8-5, 1 round left to go after this 1 round. They have an option. They can force buy now. Try and force the issue away from FaZe early, or leave it at 9-6 as the best scoreline that you can achieve. They go for a full rifle buy in the next one. Draken's already looking signs at a force buy here. The CZs will come through the Kevlar for him as well. A little bit of utility being bought in NiP. I guess you could say a half buy more than anything else. 4 rounds lost in a row, so max loss bonus will be in effect. This should be good enough for a full buy in round 15, but for now, looking to get something done with these CZs, looking to hopefully take a few frags, maybe do some damage to FaZe. Might even get a bomb plant. They're setting up A for it. And a flash and a smoke for them to work with.
Guardian honed in once again towards ramp, locking those skills in with the AWP to get the work done. And it's looking so good. Nico, Rain all supporting him. These pistols cannot get close to the site, and even when they do, Guardian will push them right back. Just like that FaZe. 9-5.
Buy up for NiP. Up for Draken. 4 AKs in play. And FaZe have the double up once again in effect. A setup that has been very, very fruitful for them this half. 9 rounds so far for the CT side. And look at Guardian looking for that next frag. The smoke will pop, but look at this. He's going to go aggressive with his own right. Draken, not yet to catch him off guard. Yes, he will land that shot just on the edge of the smoke as he spots him in connector. Shutting him down and out of the action. Teams make their way into mid, into catwalk, into short. The bomb is down at top mid, of course, so NiP do have options to work with. They can push this bomb wherever they like. Of course, with that mid control, that opens up the opportunity for them. Still got to deal with Olafmeister. AWP, close range exists, spots him as he gets utility out and takes him down to a 5-on-3. This is huge for NiP. With Get Right pushing so aggressive, he can take down Rain as well. It's all crumbling to pieces around FaZe. As 2 are left alive, NiP have not lost a single man. And the bomb is allowed to push. Carrigan does get Forest, but what much more can him and Nico do at this point?
Feeling pretty good about the 9-6 right now. Tea time told me he was ready to whip out his pitchforks and hunt me down if I was incorrect. Well, that's looking like it's going to be the case. Carrigan and Nico, the 2 men to try and stop me. Carrigan does get himself a nice shot on res. NiP just move up towards A. It's so simple at this point. Nico going to collaborate with his teammate. Draken could well solidify this round by just killing off Carrigan, providing the timing works out the right way. That's how it does. Simple kill, the back of the neck. Leaving just Nico, all alone. 3 players to find. Very little time, but Draken looking like he may well be an easy first target, as he's showing no respect to the idea of there being a second player underpass.
Does get caught off. Nico does get spotted. Tagged down, getting Draken at the very least, but Get Right able to close him down. Looking for an opportunity, him, but just unable to find it. The 9-6 will be the ending scoreline to close out FaZe's CT half. Of course, they took that advantage. And NiP have a pistol to even the score. A rifle maybe to take it over the edge. It could be very, very similar to how Cash went down. But FaZe are strong. Let's see if their strength can overwhelm the Swedes in this round. The pistol coming into play. Double flash Molotov for Carrigan. And Nico has the single smoke and flash in his grasp. Look at this. FaZe are just going to rush the whole thing down. Flash does blind Carrigan. A Molotov out towards Truck, though, does push players back away as it is res on the site. Players rotating in close range on short range. Gets the opening frag and goes aggressive, looking for Draken as well. Armor on it. Bomb goes down very, very quick from FaZe, and NiP immediately in for a retake.
Double spotting the smoke, waiting to see if they can Get something to work with Rain. Oh, I love this. Draken knows he's there, but the taps are coming through. The P250 doing the work. Looks for a secondary peek as well. Olofmeister, meanwhile on short, sending it home for his team as he secures the double. Forest is going to push out Guardian. The cherry on top play as he gets the headshot that's required. FaZe 10-6. NiP. They're going to force this almost certainly.
We've not seen them force very much though tonight. The series against Hellraisers, they were quite reserved on forcing in this second round, and of course on Cash they didn't either. But this time they will go for it. Nova on Get Right. Deagles. For everyone else except Exist, who has himself a scout. And look at Get Right's position right here. This could work out so well or so wrong. The flashbangs and the smokes and all the utility starts to go over the edge. Forest gets the opener onto Olofmeister. Get Right taps, takes down Carrigan, looks for Rain, but Rain shuts him right back out of the action as FaZe have committed to this A-site hit. Rain with a bomb on his back will make his way straight in towards the triple stack. And getting it down effective immediately. It's Draken, Forest, and Exist to retake from the CT spawn. Rain will get himself out of dodge, but takes a little bit of damage to a 4-on-3. FaZe with a disadvantage. NiP, they don't have many weapons though, so it really could swing either way, depending on how these aim duels go. Nico, considering a backstabber, just goes ahead and joins his teammates here in Rampers. NiP swarm the site. Draki gets a 1 dig on Guardian as Guardian takes out Forest. Rain with a quick spray, spots out Rez as well, but Rez takes the deagle shot all on Nico now to hold it down. UMP sprays on the first. Exists with a deagle and a scout trying to land the head, does get it, but I don't think he's got enough time. Frantically looking for a defuse kit and frantically just going to run away with whatever he can find. A UMP, but that's not much as FaZe roll on to 11.
And that is that. FaZe close it out to closing this game out. NiP can't afford to spend a penny in round 18. They'll have to wait for that buy in round number 19. For FaZe, this should be an easy one. 12-6, double up the scoreline. From there, feel very, very confident.
3 AKs for FaZe to play with. MP7, Mac 10. And FaZe are just going to go very, very quick out the gate. They realise NiP don't have a whole lot to work with, so they're going to exploit it in its finest. Carrigan, Guardian combining. SMG kills left, right, and centre. Rez does get 1 pick, but that's all he will find as Carrigan will be the last man to shut down a CT. 3 kills, 4 and more on this round. And of course, the importance comes in this one. The rifle. AWP for Draken. M4s galore. Exist could by the second, but I doubt he will. It will be full glass cannon with no utility. M4, Kevlar helmet, and a smoke and a HE for him. 4 smokes in total for NiP and 3 flashbangs. FaZe still got the SMG on Carrigan, but that should be more than fine. In towards this default mid A setup, looking likely to be an A split off the bat.
Olof getting aggressive right down through mid into connector. He will go Exist being the target up towards Palace. Get Right smoking off ramp, but he's got pressure coming in from connector now. As FaZe are here, they're ready to play. Exist starts to let rip, goes for 2. The third not going to be achieved as Nico gets a double of his own. Rain, connector, he appears. Looking for more now towards jungle, but the smoke obliterating him. Guardian kicking in with the AWP though, and that saves things for FaZe. Now all he's got to do is bear into connector, a simple peek, and FaZe, they take it 13-6.
Hello aggression. FaZe have done it again against NiP. Rushed out a site. And when it looked like Ninjas were holding it together, they just couldn't do it. And as a result, they will vote on a timeout because FaZe are going to get dangerously close to match point. Remember, they are 1-0 up in this series already. They are forward by a map. NiP cannot afford to lose like this. This is for a spot in the wildcard qualifier. And people take the tactical, take the knee to assess the situation. Get Right has already forced down. I imagine that the rest of NiP might just go ahead and join him, either that or that was a misbuy, and they will go for an eco. But regardless of what they decide, they'll have very little to work with in this next round. FaZe Clan are on 13-6, a 7-round lead above NiP. AK is out, the AWP of Guardian. Ninjas need to find this next one.
Aggression from Rez. Quickly rewarding as he finds Rain with the CZ. Marley burning out in window. Gives them a bit of a chance to work mid if they want as Olofmeister props out through ramp. Securing the frag on towards Exist. Guardian still holding window, very patient. Get Right, giving him the pick. Things get easier and easier for FaZe. They try and shut them down once and for all. That wildcard spot. Just 3 rounds away from them. Guardian looks for Forest. And it's an easy frag. Nico, next in line for a kill, wants res. It all falls into place. Draken last man standing. Nico gonna go hunting. Knows where he is now. CT gonna be peaked. And just like that, Nico gets the double. FaZe 14. Even just 2 more. NiP, 1 buy is all they can afford.
Better make it a good one, boys. AWP, M4s will come through from us for Get Right and all. And FaZe, of course, with their standard setup, the single AWP of Guardian, 4 AKs for everybody else. NiP desperately need this next round. If they lose this one, then chances are, the odds are that it's going to be a GG. FaZe already into the aggressive angles. Straight up, perhaps a great grenade landing on Draken. He's glass cannon for this round. At 20 HP already means he can't take the advancements. Rez does spot Guardian, does take his head off. Counter grenades and Molotov, trying to keep the likes of Olaf and Rain away, but outside of that, they will just go ahead and keep the aggression up. They will keep pushing. And Rain will get very, very close towards Rez. Rez has no idea that he's right here. Rain will actually spray down one player, but can't quite finish the job on Forest. A minute still left to go. The bomb is yet to commit. It will actually wrap its way out of apartments, back up towards top mid. And from here, FaZe can go towards A. They can go towards the mid splits. Have a minute to do so. And NiP, great start so far. They just need to hold the rest of the defensive together.
Push comes in, Carrigan trying to see if he can force the pick on towards Get Right. Unable to make it work the first time around, but he'll take the second shot. And one that certainly works out. Dist, pretty good holder connector though, and the problem here is for Carrigan now. There's so many places to look, but Carrigan, of all people, is hitting these shots. Carrigan with the double, looking for the third. He'll find it. FaZe Clan, grand final point.
Force buy from NiP. They desperately need this next one. As you say, this is match point. This is grand final point. This is the point of the whole qualifier right now. FaZe on the verge of taking the EU spot in the wildcard qualifier now. Smokes, flashbangs, Get Right and co will look for everything they can exist. Has actually taken 4 players and pushed with them up towards mid. Guardian is watching out the angle with the AWP of his own right. FaZe have got the bomb out towards B. If they push this Apps position now, then it's going to be a very, very messy ordeal with NiP up on a retake. Get Right will be able to take down Carrigan. And they've locked things out. Nico gets res, and Get Right smiles up another kill with the UMP.
The B site is open.
The bomb will go down, as you say. A 3-on-4 NiP, a retake to the B site.
A shot from Guardian to start to cement things. A 3 versus 3. It's even up until Get Right steps in. Draken gets himself up on towards short. The movement working out. 2 players to find. Got 3 on your team, but Guardian watching Hawkeye towards short. You peek Draken, and you struggle. Forest coming quickly through B-Apps. Time beginning to run on out. Gotta go fast. Guardian still holding. But the shot miss. It's all on Forest. Spraying rapidly. Olafmeister playing the time. Dancing around the back of the pillar. Olafmeister with the headshot. FaZe Clan. They will be going to the EPICENTER wildcard qualifiers as they win this grand final 2-0, 16-6 in map number 2.
What a